video games. You love them. We love them. Let's talk about it for a while. This is the Multiplayer Gaming Podcast, where each week we like to break down a multiplayer game for you. And midweek, we come in here with the bonus round, where we give you guys some additional content. I am your last time acting host, Paul. And with me here, I have Dr. Frankenstein himself, Todd.
Guys, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Halo, everyone.
Oh, no.
Halo, Todd.
How about hey, no?
And we have Frankenstein's monster, Josh.
Hey, I thought you were going to go like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde on me there, but...
Oh, no, I thought I would just let Todd be a respectable doctor and let Josh be the monster.
I am a man of science.
It's fitting.
So, yeah, we have Todd back. Todd's got a baby
Yay!
now.
I have two babies. I mean, not twins, but like a toddler and a baby.
One toddler, one baby.
It's great.
And then Todd will be back to our regular host for our show starting on Monday. So here for today, we had a little bit of an idea as a team to try to custom build our own Frankenstein video game. We're going to take parts from one game, parts from another. We're going to mishmash them all together and build the type of game that we would want to play. Is that how you understood this, Josh?
Yes. At first, no, but then yes.
Okay.
Once you explained it to me in very clear detail, yes, I
had questions, but then I got it. So,
guys, what's confusing about saying let's build a Frankenstein video game? That's not enough detail for you guys?
No, I was developing a world with pitchforks and flames and monsters. You build your own Frankenstein. It's great.
Yeah, and Josh, I think you were gonna just kind of build your own individual game, but then I think we decided we're gonna try to build one together as a group. So we might have a little bit of banter, a little bit of disagreement, but I think it'll be fun to do it this way.
I just like how my competitive nature came out instantly, where I was like, I'm gonna build the best game, like compared to you guys, and then you were like, no, we're working together here, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and we need some checks and balances here, so Todd doesn't just try to rebuild Halo Reach. You know, we need some checks and balances.
I mean, I'm gonna try, guys. It's gonna get there.
You're free to try. All right, so I have jotted down a couple of generic characteristics of video games, and then after that, I think it'll just be a little bit of a free for all. Like, hey, what features do you guys want to throw into this game? What would be fun? What's this game missing? And then that'll give us like a catch-all where you're free to throw out anything you want. So to start it out, first and foremost, I think we have to pick a genre. Like, what kind of genre would you say is like your favorite, or what would we want to build as a team?
Role-playing game, for sure.
Yeah, first person. I don't like third person. I don't like overhead. First person, guys.
So first person role-playing game?
Like regular role-playing game, or more of like because I guess first person's almost always going to be more of like an old school first person shooter, kind of like Skyrim style. So
yeah,
an RPG first person perspective.
Yeah, you got to go with RPG, because if you don't, then you can do anything in an RPG. You can have mini games, you can have like whatever you want.
All right. I want to throw in one thing on here. Like, I'm fine with an RPG, but I want PvEVP in the game.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, so PvP
and PvE.
Right.
PvEVP.
Okay. You gotta have PvP. Honestly, there's not many games I don't enjoy that don't have PvP, so I agree with you there.
Sure, we can definitely build that in here. And then what do we want as the time setting? Because I think for most RPGs, they tend to be like medieval time or like fantasy setting, but we could also go modern or futuristic. What would you guys prefer?
Cyberpunk.
Todd, what are you thinking?
Yeah, let's just make Cyberpunk
I'm just building out Cyberpunk 2077.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be down for building out that game, but it's going to be delayed over and over.
You
Shots fired.
Guys, by 2022, Cyberpunk will be out. I can promise you that.
I like sci-fi over fantasy, so I'm always going to say sci-fi.
I love them both, but I say sci-fi as well. So
That's 'cause
more
you
of like a
Mass Effect. What fantasy, man?
No.
Can we have space? Can we have space elves? Let's do space elves.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's room for space elves in space.
Absolutely. So we have a futuristic sci-fi space setting, which is going to have PvE VP elements. I'm curious to see how this works out.
It's going great. I love this game already.
Going great. All right. What about combat style?
Dark
'Cause I
Souls.
feel like
Dark Souls combat. There's no other combat like Dark
what?
Souls.
You want melee weapons in a futuristic space opera
Have you
RPG?
not seen Star Wars?
Okay.
They use swords. There's lightsabers. They're melee weapons.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Thank you, Todd. I'm so
I
glad
think
Todd's
it should
back.
be more of a shooter.
I was ready to attack you, Josh, until you came out with the Star Wars reference. But
Dark Souls combat is unparalleled.
I'm going to come out with this. I hate melee combat in games. I hated it in Dragon Age. I hate it in the Dark Souls games.
Paul,
I like guns and range.
I would totally say we could have the combat from Remnant from the Ashes, but since you bailed on that game, you don't really know what I'm talking about.
I liked the gunplay. I'm on record saying I loved the gunplay in Remnant. So my vote would be that it's a shooter. I want more of an action RPG with shooting combat. Todd, I think you're the tiebreaker.
Star Wars.
I'm going, all right, I think there's a balance. I'm going, 80% shooting, but then there's that one guy who does an all melee build and just, you're not supposed to, but he makes it work.
All right, so like talent trees, you can...
Yeah, even Destiny has swords in it. Like, you can make a shooter game that has melee weapons.
You know what other shooter has a sword?
Oh, don't even go
Halo
there.
2.
Oh, you had to bring up Halo.
Ooh.
Did
a
you see
laser
Todd's
sword
eyes
too.
just light up right there?
I know.
His eyes did light up. They got twice as big. All right, so
Paul's just building Mass Effect, Todd.
I know. He is.
This does sound
built
a lot like Mass Effect.
I'm gonna ruin it in a little bit, but keep going.
Sure. All right, and then what kind of hero do we want? Are we thinking male, female? Are they human, alien? What kind of main character do you envision? Is he small and smart or big, brawn?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh dear, Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. Tag team duo, space Banjo-Kazooie. No, I think we need a sim builder. Like
That's the genre.
The Sims. Like the Sims, how you could create a person.
Character creator.
Do you have to
need
play
to
them
put
from
that.
birth?
Yes.
Like in Spore. Did you guys ever play that game?
Oh, man, Spore. Paul's going way back.
No, I mean, like, you don't have to do it from birth, but just you have to do their personality traits. You have to do their talent. You have to do, you can, customize their face, hair, clothing, all of that stuff. Just, and full on personality, full on, abilities. All right there.
I love it. And it could include different alien races. So like in Skyrim, you can build the lizard guy and stuff like that. So I'm totally for it. And we can include other aliens so you can play as that if you want.
Would you include a really warlike species that just wants to dominate the galaxy? And call them Krogans maybe? Or is that
or maybe scientists that are called Solarians.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just spitballing, but mind controlling insects called the Rachni. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe his name's John Shepard.
Oh, that's
that's
a very hero-y name.
Yeah, it is. All right. And what about graphic style? What are you guys thinking? More cartoony, like World of Warcraft or The Cycle, or more
I mean, you can't beat Halo, so let's just move on.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Space Cowboys.
Space Cowboys. A dusty space western.
So I could see Red Dead working if your ship crashed and now you're stuck on a certain planet.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like God of War 4 is like another planet.
You know, I immediately went like 2001 Space Odyssey, where everything in the game is symmetric and like everything's pretty and like just slowly spins on the screen.
So we need Stanley Kubrick to come back from the dead and help us direct this game.
Absolutely.
Todd wants psychedelic. Is that what I'm hearing, Todd?
Yeah, sure. I'll do psychedelic. I mean, it's not
This
psychedelic,
is a weird game,
but
guys.
no, it's going great.
Graphics. How about just what game has really good graphics? I'm not saying it has to be cowboyish, but Red Dead Redemption 2's graphics are pretty good.
Okay, I'll meet you guys halfway. Halo 2 remastered.
So,
The graphics are better.
Still hot garbage.
I can be on board with that. You know, if we just take the Halo animation style, not the exact engine and graphics and textures and all that, but that style, I'm 100% for. I totally get that.
All right, I got him.
But like juiced up, right? Like when you say Halo,
course,
you mean like
modern.
really pretty, but like the landscapes and the planetary stuff and like the big Halo rings, so like the sci-fi type stuff.
I mean, Halo.
'Cause I could get on board with that as long as they're like modern.
Yeah, even back in the day, Halo had like amazing landscapes, or like when you looked into space, it would be this giant like moon and a spaceship, and then you would see the ring. Like, I think that would be really cool.
The ring was really cool. The ring was pretty awesome.
Yeah, so just Halo style, but imagine it came out today, cutting edge.
Okay,
sure.
Deal.
All right, and then what about music? Anything that kind of sticks out for you guys for what you would want for our sci-fi shooter RPG?
This is where I would have gone Halo, to be honest with you, because the music from Halo was great, but we can't have two Halo things. That's just weird.
To my ego.
Yeah. I would say this, but you guys aren't going to be familiar with it. But you guys remember I was bragging on the audio from Hellblade?
Sure.
Senua's Sacrifice. That audio was the best audio I've ever heard in a game. Now, it wasn't necessarily the best like music score, but the audio quality was
that the whispering one?
Yeah.
That'd be creepy. You're just out in space.
Yes.
In like this beautiful like scenery, like looking down on a planet, and then 3D audio of people talking at you.
Or like from behind you.
This is like a horror game.
Dude,
gone wrong.
Yes, we're going in the right direction now, boys.
With a psychological horror bent.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, it has PvEVP.
Yeah, with PvEVP elements. Okay, so I was thinking more music initially, and I was thinking of like bouncing maybe like epic Lord of the Rings type music, but now that I know it's more of a psychological horror, I'm thinking like the music from The Dark Knight. This is like not even real music, but this is like epic sounds and like weird, strange things in the background. What do you guys think?
I love it.
If we're building out the whole like this might be a space horror game in the long run.
Are we just making Deep Space? Or wait, what was that game called?
Deep Space.
Dead Space.
Dead Space. That's it.
Okay, I kind of feel like we're making Dead Space now, but that's cool.
If we add demons, we've just made Doom. So
yeah, that's true.
Although Doom actually had a really good soundtrack too. Doom Eternal was pretty awesome.
I would believe it. I just haven't played it. But you know what would not work for this game is the Animal Crossing soundtrack. I can tell you that right now.
No.
To revive that old argument between us.
Just whispering of like people all around you with like the poppy music of Animal Crossing.
Give me your turnips. Sell them your turnips. Sell them your turnips. You can't have my turnips. Give them your turnips, guys.
Okay, I'm definitely scared now.
I think we need to go back to the drawing board and make this more Animal Crossing centric.
Yeah. An Animal Crossing psychological horror game. All right, so now let's just kind of toss it out there. What elements do you guys want to see? I have just like one or two written down, but what's something you would want to toss into this game that's currently missing?
All right.
Okay.
So we're doing
go,
space. Todd. Sorry, I'm dedicated on these two. All right, we're going in space. I want the flying suit from Anthem.
Oh, yes!
Yep.
Todd, that's what I was going to say.
It is a fantastic mechanic. It feels great. Flying suit from Anthem, including going under the water to cool it off. Awesome.
I love it. Great idea.
Thank you, Todd.
My next one, it hot take over here. I want the crafting from Rust. Maybe it's futuristic crafting, and maybe you have to farm space junk. But the like a crafting and blueprint system that you find in Rust.
That's a good idea. That's honestly, I really enjoy that too. Anytime you have to like find blueprints and craft stuff, it just adds reward to the game.
Yeah, I love that too. So it kind of encourages exploration, go find materials. And if you have nothing to do right away, then just go explore the world, go get some mats and learn how to craft some new things. So sure, I'm totally on board.
And then the last thing I have, I want the humor from Portal.
Yes, I love
with
that.
the psychological horror bend.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have both. You have to have your ups and downs.
There's not much that separates laughter and crying, Paul. So,
I mean, I love GLaDOS from Portal. I think she's great, and Wheatley in Portal 2 is hilarious. And I guess Portal, in a way, kind of rides that line between
scary
psychological
and,
horror, apocalyptic, with the humor. Okay, so maybe the voices that whisper to you sometimes tell you jokes. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, you could have a good voice and a bad voice.
Okay,
like you could have a good voice that's happy-go-lucky, very, very funny, and then like you enter into a dark space, and then all of a sudden you feel the crippling dread of space on you. You know, nothing, just light.
Exactly. And that segues perfect into one of the things that I wanted to throw in here, which is a morality system. I love when games let you play the good guy or the bad guy. So I think the obvious example is like Mass Effect with Paragon versus Renegade. And I love the idea of games letting you do that. So if you want to be a war criminal psychopath, then I think you should be able to do it. Maybe you listen to the evil voices, or maybe you listen to the humorous good voices, and then you can make positive choices. Do you guys like that in games? Do you like the morality system?
Yeah, except I have to be good the first time. I'm morally obligated to not be a butthead in the beginning.
Unless it's GTA.
Which
we will get into on Monday.
Yeah. No. That's a good thing. I do like having to make those tough choices, to be honest with you. And what I really like about a morality system, and there's a few games that have really done it right, is when sometimes you don't know what the right answer is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where I really like those, when you're like, I don't see the black and white here. This is like gray, and which one is better?
Right. Like, there is no right choice.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love when games show you the consequences of your choices, and sometimes they have like unintended endings that you didn't really anticipate. So Josh, what else do you want to toss in here?
We need like some kind of lore, right? Like, you've got to have more than just your character. I'm not saying it has to follow like specifically like Norse mythology like God of War 4 did, but the lore from that game was great. Like, I'm a huge fan of like the Norse mythology, but like the world serpent, I don't know if you guys remember, like that was just one of the coolest moments in video games. Like, you need a good like world lore, I guess, to go along with a game to make you care about the universe.
So are the spaceships Viking spaceships?
With oars.
With oars.
Yes.
With space
yes,
oars.
you got to have space oars to catch that solar water wind stuff.
Yeah.
Do you like where it has a little bit of that supernatural bend, or in some games more of like almost a religious bend where you have like prophecies and chosen ones? Or do you like the games where you're kind of just like an average person who steps up to the occasion and does something great? Because that can be part of the lore too.
Average person that does something great is pretty cool. Although I do like it when it's fun to like play a god, you know? Like, that was one of the things that made God of War 4 so cool, is you're like, dude, I'm freaking Kratos, man. You know, like, you knew it going in. Like, that was really cool too. So,
do you want like godlike powers?
I mean, doesn't everybody?
All right, sure. Let's toss it in there.
We are float. I mean, the Jedi have the Force. Why can't we have godlike powers?
Guys,
Sure.
I just want to take a second to pause. I'm sure some of our listeners might be thinking this. Do you know what game we actually just built?
I want to know, because that was going to be my question at the end, is what is this most similar to?
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2?
An RPG shooter, first person. It's a graphic style of Halo. It was built by Bungie. It has
You have some crafting?
Yeah, it has a great soundtrack. It has humor and dark moments with a great lore that goes into like the spiritual sense in like some of the aspects. And you can customize characters. And it has PvEVP.
So we have to scratch the whole
So we
project.
have to start over. I was going to say, does this mean we're starting over again? Because
yeah, it does sound a lot like Destiny 2. And, you know, Destiny is one of those games where all three of us played at release, and Todd has still continued to play. Josh and I still kind of just remember the limited content when it first came out. But yeah, I mean, I will say that there does seem to be a lot of striking comparisons to Destiny.
And this is our perfect
game.
game. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So anything else that this game is missing?
I got one more thing. This is really
I have one more too, but I'll let Josh go first.
I want the quests from The Witcher 3. That game had the best side quests of any game made.
Like what? I've never
there.
played The Witcher, so what are you talking
Neither
about?
has Paul, so it's just
yes, I have a few hours in. It's stuff like activate your cat eyes and you
No,
can see
it's
footprints and go
not.
find out
How
who
dare
stole.
you.
That's literally one of the first quests.
Dude, look up the quest. The Three Crones was one of the most amazing side quests. You had the one with the tainted tree on the hillock, which you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. But basically, this like tree got tainted with blood, and you could choose to like kill the tree or like not, and then leave it because it's part of nature and stuff. And then there was huge ramifications for that later on in the game. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is the guy that loves
Wow,
Animal
trees,
Crossing,
great,
and he wants
awesome.
to.
Let's decide whether or not we want to hurt a tree. Fascinating. All right,
What do you
and,
what do you got against trees, man?
Yeah, Paul doesn't
I
have
got
a
nothing
soul.
against trees.
Yeah.
You know how many trees I cut down in Animal Crossing, guys? It's a slaughter.
It is widely known that the questing in The Witcher 3 is some of the best questing ever written.
Yeah.
What
Thank
I've
you.
seen is good, and I like the lore. I just don't know that I saw anything terribly unique.
You
as
played
far
for
as the
6
type of
hours.
Yeah.
This is a 120-hour game.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh my. No.
Todd, you said you got one last addition to the game. What you thinking?
All right. So I mean this one, bottom of my heart. I know we said we need a character customization, but I need to be able to create an Oddjob type character in this game.
Odd Job from GoldenEye 007.
Absolutely. I need someone half height
So
and just someone that everyone else hates. And just like, no, you can't pick that character.
you need a really wide range on the height scale in the character customization, right?
Yeah, it needs to go from like,
Hobbit height.
3 feet, 6 inches to 12 feet tall.
I like it because, especially since Oddjob is such an iconic character from our video game backgrounds, if anybody doesn't know, Oddjob was a character you could pick in GoldenEye, and he was so short that almost everybody universally decided to ban him from all multiplayer games because it was considered cheating. He was so hard to hit because he was just super small and super tiny.
Well, you couldn't run around the corners aiming at head height. You would have to, like, all of a sudden Oddjob would be there
for
and you'd have
knees.
to duck down. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for it. You guys know I love ridiculous character creation. In our golf game, I play a 7-foot woman who weighs 400 pounds. So I'm all for the extremes in the character creation. I love it.
Hey, you look 350 at most in that game, Paul.
Thank you, Todd. She keeps it tight. All right, so I think we've got everything down with our game here. Just to sum up, we have a first-person perspective shooter RPG. Takes place in the future, and it's sci-fi. Takes place mostly in space. We have some psychological horror elements. You are able to create your character, including personality and traits with character creation. And also the graphics look a little bit like a modern Halo. And the music is like creepy psychological music from The Dark Knight. We've got the Anthem flying suits. We have crafting. Guys, this is kind of like a big uptaking. We have a morality system. We can create odd job. Got quests like The Witcher 3. We've got godlike powers along with our guns, I guess. Now I'm kind of wondering if we even need the guns if we have powers. And we've got the humor from Portal. So, I don't know. This kind of sounds like a world buffet.
It sounds like a good idea, but then you leave and you're like, what have I done to myself?
Yeah.
I'd be very curious to see this Frankenstein monster come to life, because...
Have you guys ever heard, like, I don't even know what it is, but the story of, like, the committee trying to create a horse, and then they just end up creating what?
Well, it's an elephant, right? Isn't that what it is?
Oh,
Where they describe a different part of the elephant? What do they describe at the end of it? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
But you can't tell a story and then not know the end.
Listeners, go to Google and search "blind men describe elephants," and you will find the story.
I wasn't talking about that. I was like a committee trying to create a horse ends up creating like a camel. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Next
I can't
segment.
say I've ever heard of that.
This got weird quick.
Cut.
Oh man.
We'll fix it in post.
Oh man.
All right. So I think we finished up our game here. Anything to add before we close this episode out? I will say this is why we aren't game developers.
Yeah, I'm really weirded out that Todd said we built Destiny 2.
I know. We have to review it now.
I don't like that at all.
We have to review Destiny 2. Put it on the books.
It does make me want to play more of Destiny 2, I'll be honest.
Yes.
Might have to start downloading it just to have it ready.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope you enjoy that 90 gigabytes.
Yep.
It's a light 90.
Light, yeah. Just a light 90 gigs.
Okay, I found this saying, a camel is a horse designed by a committee.
Okay, I feel like we took the very long story to get there. but
we got there.
I'm glad we got there. Yeah, better late than never. All right. Well, that finishes up our bonus round episode here for today. Thanks for sticking with us as we built our little Frankenstein monster from the ground up. I don't think we'll see this game in production anytime soon, but this is just a free one for the audience. Sometimes we like to throw out great $1 million ideas, and you guys are free to take this and run. So you're welcome, EA.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Build this, add some microtransactions, and you got yourself a classic title.
This is how you can improve Anthem. Just listen to this podcast.
Exactly. All right. Well, we look forward to talking to you guys again on Monday when we will discuss GTA Online. It'll be all three of us once again from this point forward. And we appreciate you guys spending this time. Go ahead and please subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review and write a review if your podcasting app allows it. And we would love to hear from you guys on socials. Josh manages our Twitter account at Multiplayer Gaming Pod.
Nope, just Multiplayer Pod.
Multiplayer Pod, of course. I know our Twitter.
Yeah.
And at Instagram at Multiplayer Podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
There he is.
Passed it. 50%. I'll take it. All right. And then we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good week, everyone.
See you guys. Thanks for bringing camels to this episode. Every good multiplayer podcast episode needs camels in it.
Like a camel segment.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Multi-camel podcast? Is that a spinoff?
Yeah.
All right. I'm pressing stop.
Top 10 camels.